Looking to learn life lessons without going through the experience? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Hidden Struggles with your host, Lady C.
Hey, this is Lady C. Welcome to Hidden Struggles. And in this upcoming episode, I'm going to be exploring a story that I found in the news on jw.org. It's about a brother. His name is Roman, and he has been convicted of a crime in Russia. Now, before we dive in, let me be clear. No one should face legal consequences simply for practicing their religion. Persecution is never okay, and my heart goes out to anyone who suffers because of their beliefs. Take a look at my screen. I am here at the jw.org website, and I'm looking at their news. And one of the news articles is from a brother in Russia. And the article was dated November 22nd, 2024. And it says, "I am determined to remain one of Jehovah's Witnesses." In his final court statement, Roman said something very powerful. "For me, believing in and worshiping Jehovah God is like breathing. This persecution has been an attempt to figuratively cut off my oxygen by forcing me to renounce my best friend, Jehovah." It's a heartfelt statement, and you can feel his sincerity. But here's where I want to dig deeper. What does loyalty to Jehovah really mean in this context? As someone who was once a loyal Jehovah's Witness, I understand where Roman's words come from, but I also know that this kind of loyalty doesn't just come from faith. It comes from years of conditioning. You see, Jehovah's Witnesses are taught from a young age that persecution is proof that they're in the true religion. They're encouraged to see any opposition as a test of their loyalty to God. And while this can inspire bravery, it also creates a mindset where questioning the organization feels like betraying God himself. So, is Roman standing firm for his beliefs, or is he being trapped in a system that equates obedience to men with loyalty to God? I mean, that's the question I want to explore. The Watchtower often highlights stories like Romans to reinforce their message of loyalty and faith under trial. They present these individuals as heroes, not just for their beliefs, but for their unwavering allegiance to the organization. But what's missing from these stories? The opportunity for personal choice. Roman didn't just grow up as a Jehovah's Witness. He grew up in a system where loyalty to the organization is tied to his salvation. That kind of pressure doesn't leave much room for genuine, independent belief. I want to encourage a little critical thinking in this instance. Now, let's be clear. No one should have to choose between their faith and their freedom. Let's be clear on that. But it's also important to ask, is Roman's loyalty truly to God or to an organization claiming to represent God? I mean, how much of his choice is actually influenced by fear of being shunned, losing his community, or disappointing his family? And most importantly, does standing firm in one belief system mean closing yourself off to new perspectives? Roman's case isn't unique. Around the world, people of many faiths face persecution. But what makes Jehovah's Witnesses different is how the organization frames these stories as proof they're the only true religion. Yet, when we step back, we see a bigger picture. Religious persecution is a human rights issue, not a validation of doctrine. And while Roman's courage is admirable, it's worth asking whether his faith is empowering him or if it's a chain keeping him bound to an organization that demands unquestioning loyalty. So, to anyone watching this who might still be in the organization or wrestling with these kinds of questions, I want to say, it's okay to think critically. Loyalty to God doesn't mean blind obedience to the organization. And if you've left and are still processing these stories, remember, it's okay to feel conflicted. It's okay to feel empathy for people like Roman while still questioning the system that shaped their beliefs. I mean, at the end of the day, true faith isn't about following someone's script, but it's all about discovering what you believe and why. If this video resonated with you, share it with someone who might be struggling with similar questions. And as always, let's keep this conversation going in the comments. What do you think about Roman's statement and the Watchtower's portrayal of loyalty? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.